Hi everybody, Teacher Source here. I wanted to come on and show you my Who Would Win research unit. If you have previously purchased the project, this actually has lessons that go before the project and it kind of manipulates the project so it's a little bit better virtually. So inside the product you're going to find a table of contents with the sessions that link right to the session in the product, and then there's going to be the research project at the end. Those are the standards that this focuses on. So each of the sessions, there are 6 sessions, with session 3 having actually 2 parts. They are going to come with a Google and a Seesaw link so that they're easy to click and assign to your students. All of the lessons come with a guided organizer and then the independent practice for your students. So for example, session 1, you're going to be modeling how to look at different nonfiction books and synthesizing them to come up with subtopics of what most of the nonfiction books talk about. So you're going to pick, for example, like giraffe, and you're going to pull a bunch of giraffe books, or you can even assign them on Epic or find links previous to your lesson of different texts if you're virtual. And then you're going to be looking at what topics are common in all of the texts, because that's going to eventually lead to a research project. I'm going to go back. If I were to click on session 1 for Seesaw and assign it to my students, the students are able to manipulate it. This is the Seesaw version. Type in their own answers here. They're going to be looking at the text and deciding which is the easiest, medium level, and the hardest level, and then determining those subtopics. All of the lessons have the guided practice and the independent practice worksheet or graphic organizer in the Google link or Seesaw link. The reason I do this is because a lot of times I utilize the guided practice in Seesaw before I then assign it to my students, so that way if they need to go back, they can look back at the guided practice that we did together as their exemplar model. So it goes through the sessions. This session is about looking at subtopics and then synthesizing with 2 different texts what they learned about that subtopic to then help them with their research in the end. Looking at vocabulary and how that's very important to the text and specific, just content-specific vocabulary for different animals. Okay, then they're going to be looking for cool facts that they could share. So just practicing the fact that nonfiction books are like going on a treasure hunt because you can find new information. And then questions that they have. So just to kind of guide their research, what are they still wondering about the topic? It's very important for nonfiction readers to continue to wonder about the topic so that they keep reading about that specific subject. So the animal research project, I'm going to give a lot of credit to my team as well. We worked very hard on creating this project in previous years, and usually we're doing this in person, so it's more of like a scrapbook printable project. The directions are all here, especially if you're in person and you want to do the paper version. So you're just going to use one of those typical file folders, and then they're going to fold it in half, and they're going to be putting 2 different animals, fun facts about the animals, and then looking at specific categories that they're going to be researching, and then doing main idea and detailed charts to coincide with that. And then they're going to decide between the 2 animals who would win that category. So this is also for the online example. It's showing you the charts when they do it online. Obviously they're not cutting and pasting it on a file folder. So this is what it's going to look like online and how they would fill it out. There are websites for the students to do research, and then there's also some recommendations of some Bizarre Beast Battle books, or like the Who Would Win books that this project is kind of based off of, if you've ever read those. And then there's predetermined animal categories and pairings. So slowest animal, these pairings of animals would work really well for those. Highest jumper, fastest animal, stronger animal, defense mechanisms. And we basically just went through our school's library and kind of saw and pulled books of what we had, and then we came up with the categories that way. So there is a blank one as well if you want to come up with different categories yourself. But the project is also linked all in Seesaw for them to do, and Google. And then this is what the charts would look like when they take their notes on like the diet of the animals and the size, and then those specific categories. towards the end of the product, there's going to be some different rubrics. So for the trifold, that file folder project, there is a rubric, and this is all on Google as well, so you could manipulate this online. There's a speaking rubric if you choose to have your students present this. And then there's also, based on the standards that the project uses, how are they doing on those specific standards. So you could do this in a lot of different ways. The kids could do it individually, the kids could do it in groups. It's kind of up to you. But those previous lessons kind of help build the background knowledge on how to do the research and what they're going to be looking for. But our students in the past, we've done this for a few years now, have absolutely loved the project. And it gives them a little bit more guidance for the project instead of just kind of saying, okay, research about these animals. It gives them guidance and it gives them an actual presentable product that they can utilize. Thanks for listening.